Hello, please come on in and welcome to Community Game Night. Are you currently registered for some of the games this evening? You're not. You just heard about this and you're walking in to see what we have available? Okay, well that's no problem. Can I just have your name to start with? Okay, great. Okay, well, we have a variety of games going on this evening that you are more than welcome to partake in. What particular types of games do you like to play? Okay, well, I think you're really going to enjoy your evening here tonight. Do you have something in particular you'd like to jump into? Or would you like me to go through all the various things that we have available? You'd like to hear what games we have available? Alright, well, let me just pull up the whole list here. Alright, so tonight we have several card games going on. We have Magic the Gathering, even though it's not Friday. We are doing Magic the Gathering tonight, and all levels. You can be fully skilled or not skilled at all. You don't have your own deck, but you do know how to play. Okay, well, we do have quite a few decks that you can borrow. They're available for borrowing here. We keep them here at the gaming center just in case someone such as yourself comes in and wants to play but doesn't have their own deck. So you can use one of the pre-made decks that we have available to join in the game. If you do come back eventually and really want to get into it, you can always bring your own deck as well, but this will give you just a nice little taste of jumping in. And we do this for all the card games that we currently have going on. You can borrow any of our decks. You don't have to have your own to join. So aside from Magic the Gathering, we also have Yu-Gi-Oh! Going on. We have several games of that. We have several games of Pokemon happening. We have a few games of Dominion. You're not familiar with that one? That one is... I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm just going to say it's a whole lot of fun, and if you've never played, I would highly recommend jumping into a game, or jumping into one that's about to start. Let me rephrase. It's just a lot of fun, and I highly recommend trying that one if you've never tried it. So, that being said, we also have a few simpler card games. So we have the Cards Against Humanity Nerd Edition. Yeah, so it's just like regular Cards Against Humanity, but there are, nerd-friendly packs. So we've got the Fantasy Pack, the Geek Pack, the Sci-Fi Pack, the World Wide Web Pack, the AI Pack, the Human Pack, and then the pack that's, it's literally labeled A Few More Cards for You Nerds Pack. So it just adds a geeky aspect to the classic game of Cards Against Humanity, and it's really a lot of fun. So lots of laughing and things in that game, definitely. If you're more of a board games person, we also have quite a few board games going on. Let me just pull those up here. Let's see. Okay, so we do have Monopoly. Monopoly's kind of a boring game. Well, it can be, I suppose. It's actually one of my favorites, so I've never considered it boring, but you might find the versions that we have available tonight a little more fun. What do I mean by that? Well, tonight we are offering Star Wars Monopoly. You didn't know that existed? Yeah, it does. It's it's basically the classic game of Monopoly. The rules are basically the same, but all the characters are Star Wars characters, and all the places are Star Wars places. So there'll be like Dagobah and Yavin, and just various places that you can go around and purchase. So it's not just Boardwalk and Park Place, things like that. These are a little more exciting because they're things that we know from the Star Wars universe, which makes it a lot more fun. That does sound like a lot more fun. Yeah, it really is. So once I started playing Star Wars Monopoly, I don't think I played a lot of regular Monopoly after that. I still love regular Monopoly, but Star Wars Monopoly is just so much more fun. So, in the same vein, we also have a few other themed Monopolies that are going on here tonight. We have Lord of the Rings Monopoly, same kind of thing. All the places are from the Lord of the Rings universe, and the characters are from the Lord of the Rings universe. You get the gist. Same with all the rest here. Godzilla Monopoly, Fallout Monopoly, Firefly Monopoly. Yes, we even have Firefly Monopoly because we do get quite a few brown coats walking through our doors, and we want to cater to them as well. So, Firefly Monopoly is definitely a fun one to play as well. And then we also have Legend of Zelda Monopoly and even the Goonies Monopoly. So if you're looking for something kind of nostalgic, I guess that's a good one for that. Those do all sound like fun. Well, we are open till midnight, so there's plenty of time. You might be able to get into more than one of these games. And of course, you can always come back next week on game night and jump into another one. So we also have, on the subject of board games, we also have a few versions of Catan. Have you ever played Catan? Once or twice? Okay, well, these ones are slightly more fun versions because, once again, they bring in the geek themes, and you just can't go wrong with that. So we have Star Trek Catan that is, being played around here. We have Game of Thrones Catan, which is being played. That's a fun one. And then my personal favorite, Starfarers Catan. What is that one? It sounds interesting. Well, Starfarers Catan, similar to regular Catan, except of course, you're doing, spaceships and interstellar trading, which can be a little bit more fun than the, standard trading of wheat and lumber. Interstellar trading just adds a whole new level of joy to it. That does sound like fun. Yeah, it really is. There's a reason why the Starfarers Catan is my favorite. So, what else? Well, we also have various nerd versions of Risk. You love playing Risk? Okay, well then I think you're really going to love these because we have Game of Thrones Risk, which of course everything on the board is some location in GOT. You've got Westeros and all the various kingdoms, King's Landing and Dragonstone and all of that, and it'll be your job to guard your piece of the kingdom, much like the series. You're just going to go to war with anybody who's a threat to you. So that's a fun version. We also have Lord of the Rings Risk. Again, all the places in Middle Earth. You got the Shire and Rohan and Mordor, and you want to hang on to all your various places. And then we also have Warhammer Risk, which is a lot of fun, and Halo Risk as well, if you want to bring that aspect into it. I think it's probably our only Halo-themed game here tonight, is the Halo Risk, but again, a lot of fun. Other board games we have going on are chess. Do you like playing chess? A little bit? You're not very good at it, but you do really enjoy it? Okay, well tonight we have 3D Star Trek chess. Are you familiar with that? You've seen it played in Star Trek, but you've never actually played? Okay, well, it is a little bit more difficult than standard chess, just because you have to keep track of the pieces on various levels, which does make it more difficult to remember where your pieces are, which can lead you to making mistakes faster. So it does add an extra challenge into the game of chess, but it is a lot of fun, and I do recommend trying it at least once. If you've never played, if you think the Star Trek chess is going to be a little too difficult, you can just play, the regular chess game with some funner pieces. on with the board games, we also have Clue going on, and we have some fun themed versions of that. We have One Piece Clue. Yes, exactly. Based on the comic of One Piece, we have One Piece Clue, and we have Nightmare Before Christmas Clue. So that's all the familiar scenes and characters from Nightmare Before Christmas, of course. And then we have Friends Clue. Yes, from the TV series Friends. Not exactly nerd themed, but kind of a pop culture reference, and a lot of the people who come through our doors are fans of Friends as well, so we thought that would be a fun Clue game to include tonight. Well, that one takes place in Monica and Rachel's apartment, so no big mansion or anything. And so obviously all the characters are from Friends, and it takes place in the apartment, and it's very familiar to anyone who enjoys the Friends series. It's a very familiar universe, so that sounds like that might be a little bit of fun too. Yeah, definitely. Most of everything that we have going on here tonight is a lot of fun. I might be a little biased being someone who works here, but I've played most of these, and I can attest that most of them really are a whole lot of fun. So as far as, well, I'm not really sure if they count as board games per se, but I'm just going to call them board games because there is a board involved. But we do have a few Trivial Pursuit games going on. You love Trivial Pursuit? Okay, well, the ones that we have going on here tonight, we have Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, Game of Thrones Trivial Pursuit, and Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit. We don't have Firefly going on here tonight, but I'll just make a little note here that that's a request, because we can certainly have that going on another night. Just put a little note here to make sure we remember that. Okay, so that's it for our board games. What was that? Do we have any tabletop role-playing games? Actually, yes, we do. Hang on, let me just pull up that list. Okay, we do have, of course, the classic D&D being played. D&D, of course, being Dungeons and Dragons, not Do Not Disturb, which is when somebody says they're putting their phone on D&D, my brain always goes straight to Dungeons and Dragons, but that aside, we do have a few games of that being played, and highly recommend jumping into one of those, particularly if you're not familiar with a lot of tabletop role-playing games. That's a good one to get started with. Do you have a lot of experience in that? You've been playing D&D for years? Okay, so you should be fine then. Well, in that case, we also have Pathfinder going on, as well as Starfinder, and Warhammer 40,000. You'd be interested in playing that one? Okay, yeah, let's see. Well, we also do have a miniatures painting session that will be taking place an hour before the game actually starts. So you can paint a few of your own miniatures. Yeah, it's just kind of a fun hobby. I believe that Henry Cavill does it even, so, you'll be in good company. It's one of the things that I really love when they have actors playing nerdy parts who are actually kind of nerdy. It's always very rewarding, I think. But yeah, so you can paint up some Warhammer miniatures, and then we'll set them all by the fan. You can blow them off and let them dry before actually starting the game. That sounds like fun. Do you want me to go ahead and register you for that, or do you want to wait until you hear everything? You're leaning heavily toward it, but you'd like to hear what else there is? Okay, no problem. Totally understand. So we also have, if you're interested in yard games, and due to the weather outdoors, this is an indoor yard game, but we have it set up just like, an outdoor yard game. And this will be Alice in Wonderland Croquet. Yeah, it's just kind of a little fun one that we thought we'd throw in. It's kind of a different one that you wouldn't really expect to find. And it can kind of give you a break from the sit-down games, get up and go play a little physical game of croquet. But we wanted to have kind of a fun spin on it. So we're playing Alice in Wonderland croquet. So all the mallets are, little flamingo guys, and the balls are little hedgehog things. No, none of them are real, of course. They're wooden flamingos and wooden hedgehogs, just regular little wood devices, but they're made to look like the mallets and balls in Alice in Wonderland. And of course, the wickets are made out of plastic cards, so you just roll the hedgehog ball through those to take your turn and pretend that you're in Alice in Wonderland. So that one does sound like a fun spin on croquet. Yeah, like we say, we wanted to, a little something to give people reason to get up and walk around. So we don't have cornhole going on here tonight. We usually only have 1 yard game at a time going on, but we can certainly add cornhole to the list for next time. Not a problem. It's a good getting up and walking around one as well. Okay, and then of course we do have quite a variety of console games. Do you want me to go through those? Okay, yeah, we have quite a few, so I don't really want to go through the whole list because we'll be here all night and you'll never get to play anything. We have quite a selection, everything from Nintendo 64 and Sega to Xbox and PlayStation and anything in between. So I'll just name you a few of the most popular ones, and you can always just, go through the pile and check them out. So we do have the original Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, that one's extremely popular, even with all the modern gaming. Everyone still likes that classic Super Mario Brothers. We have Mario Kart, of course, always a fun one if you like driving games. We have Tomb Raider. We have The Witcher. We have Red Dead Redemption. We have Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. You've never heard of that one? That one's, it's a little different, kind of obscure, I guess. It is really a lot of fun, though. You have to rescue all your little species members. You have to rescue them. They've been made to work in the meatpacking plant, and you have to go through and get them all out of there. And there's trapdoors and meat grinders and, the weird little guard monsters that you can possess with your mind and make them walk around and do things. So it's really, it's a very creative, very fun game, and there's a lot of little fun things in there that you can do. So if you've never played it, I do recommend it because that one is a fun one. You're probably going to have to give that one a try. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. So a few other ones we have are Super Smash Brothers. We do have Fallout New Vegas. That's the only Fallout we currently have, but we are looking into getting more. We have a few Sega classics. Got the Home Alone, the Terminator game, the Addams Family game. You've definitely never heard of that one. Yeah, it's, obviously it's old graphics. That one's kind of a classic. The graphics are old, and Gomez is hilarious watching him walk along, just the way his legs, go around in a circle due to the graphics. But, it's kind of a fun one if you like classic style games, because it is definitely an older one. And there is a freezer and a furnace, both of which can present challenges, and you have to get certain things out of different places in the house, and the freezer and the furnace are probably the two most fun places, because a lot of things can happen there, as you might guess. Let me see. Yes, actually, we do have Narc. Are you familiar with that? Okay, well, that one is a 2-player game, if that's what you're looking for, and you have to go through and catch the bad guy, obviously, but there are certain things. Again, it's an older game, so the graphics are older, but you'll be on the bridge, and you have to, dodge the bullets. if you are really good with hand-eye coordination, you can dodge the bullets. I used to drive my brother nuts playing this game because I could dodge the bullets and he couldn't. And he's actually a much better gamer than me, but I had fast thumbs, so I could dodge the bullets and he couldn't. So I could actually get down the bridge faster than he could, and I could jump in the shiny red convertible car, which always really bothered him because then I always got to drive. And when you get to drive the car, you can keep driving and the person walking can't catch up with you. So you can just drive and just stay on the right side of the screen while they're stuck on the left side of the screen walking. You can't go any faster than they can walk, but they can't catch up with you. And it is a great way to just irritate your playing partner if you enjoy doing that. That sounds like a riot? Yeah, it really is a lot of fun. But so, and we have many, many more games. Like I say, just go through the baskets and check out the cartridges and see what you want to play. For now, what can I get you registered for? You definitely want to do Warhammer? Okay. And do you just want to play, or do you want to partake in the miniatures painting session as well? You want to partake in the miniatures painting session? Okay, so we can do that. And then, let's see, did you have any of the card games that you wanted to play? You're going to go ahead and try Dominion? Excellent choice. Alright, any of the board games? You want to try the Lord of the Rings Risk? Not quite feeling the Monopoly yet still? No problem. We don't judge. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I love Risk as well, so. Okay, and did you want to do any of the console games? Mario Kart? Okay. Alright, so you're all registered. We'll get you into a time slot here. In the meantime, you can head over to the Alice in Wonderland Croquet while you're waiting, because no one has to register for that. You can just walk over and start playing. But you will get a text when your turn is ready to start playing, okay? What is your cell number? Okay, so yeah, just head over and chill out with the little croquet, or walk around and meet people. You know, it's a great place to socialize here. And when your turn to join one of the games is ready, you'll get a text, okay? Okay, well, do hope that you have a wonderful, fun evening here tonight, and we hope you'll come back and see us again. Okay, have fun.